my name is Marten Harrell. I was in the SeaLab 3 project. As a matter of fact, I was the project engineer responsible for developing diver equipment. I was mainly back in the office of the Deep Submergent Systems project, working for Jack Tomsky, who headed the SeaLab 3 program. I got into diving by simply volunteering to become a deep sea diving officer. When my dad heard that, I never will forget what he told me. He said, "Son, what you lack in sense, you make up in poor judgment." But it set the stage for my life. I went through the Navy's deep sea diving school in 1960. I was assigned afterwards to the submarine rescue vessel Petrel. It was very, very interesting duty. I loved the whole thing. I went back to graduate school at Georgia Tech. I got interested in studying automatic control systems, got my master's degree in electrical engineering, where that was taught. Worked for a year at NASA's Manned Spacecraft Center, developing attitude control systems. And then on some reserve duty to requalify as a Navy diver at the Navy Diving School, I was offered a position at the Experimental Diving Unit. After about 9 months there, Commander Jack Tomsky came in, sat down at my desk and said, "Young fellow, I've heard some interesting things about you. I have been assigned as officer in charge of the SeaLab 3 program, and I want you to come work for me." He put his card down on my desk. I called him that very day, and from that point on, I was in the SeaLab. Interesting times going through some of the training, and some of it was physically difficult. I can remember when I went through the mixed gas diver training, scuba training down at the underwater swim school at Key West. I was in good shape. I was running, not jogging, running 5 miles a day. I was swimming 2 miles a day on top of that. I had been a competitive swimmer in both high school and college. So that was just something I did. But I was nowhere near that level of training, physical training. We had underwater demolition team members down there in our class, explosive ordnance disposal, and the exercise was so much that I was afraid after that first day I wouldn't survive to see the second day, and the second day I was afraid I might survive to see the third day. We all had a can-do kind of attitude. All you had to do was assign us something to do, and as I mentioned last night when I was speaking, the difficult we do immediately, the impossible takes a little bit longer. But that was the attitude we had. The SeaLab training for me lasted 2 years, I think it was. But it was tough. It was designed to make sure that it was mind over matter. The training, the physical training, was to make sure that you were physically fit for it, and second, that you had the mental ability to make your body sprint when every fiber in your body yells quit. Nobody could understand until we actually started doing it how cold it could get when you're in a helium environment. I remember one of the saturation training dives I made. It was in a chamber at the Navy Experimental Diving Unit. And to be comfortable, the temperature had to be no lower than 83 degrees Fahrenheit and no higher than 85. If it was lower than that, we were freezing. If it was above that, we were burning up. It was just intolerable. Saturation diving, we're able to dive to over 1,000 feet. And it made possible much of the offshore oil production that we have today. The satisfaction of doing something that nobody has ever done before is something that you just can't describe. And there is a bond that's created among those who are in a situation like that, who are in a group like that. I love these guys. Most of them are no longer with us, but for those few, the handful that are here today, I am so glad to be able to get together with them again. This museum, my kids are thoroughly enjoying seeing the kind of stuff that I did back when I was their age or younger. And I'm delighted that this is here. And like I say, there is a bond that ties those of us who were aquanauts in that program together. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. It's just that we are one.